So, dear students, in continuation of the topic the flower, there are some important short answer questions and also important topics. Here are the mode of arrangement of sepals or petals on the thalamus in respect of the ovary is of three types. Here flowers are categorized into three types on the basis of arrangement of floral parts in respect of the ovary and the thalamus. This means the mode of arrangement of calyx, corolla and androecium in comparison with the ovary and the thalamus is of three types. One is hypogynous flower, second one perigynous flower and epigynous flower. Flowers are three types on the basis of arrangement of other floral parts in respect of the ovary and the thalamus are hypogynous flower, perigynous flower and epigynous flower. So hypogynous type of flowers are found in mustard and China rose, where perigynous flowers are found in plum and rose like plants, where epigynous flowers are found in guava and cucumber. So in case of the hypogynous flowers, here ovary occupies the highest position, ovary, and this one is style and this one is stigma. Here gynoecium occupies the highest position on the thalamus. So this one is thalamus, thalamus, thalamus. On the thalamus, at the top position, you are usually female reproductive structure called as gynoecium usually produced, and the remaining floral parts like calyx and corolla and androecium, androecium. Here calyx, corolla and androecium type of floral parts are produced just below to the ovary. Here ovary usually found at highest position. So that kind of ovary called as superior ovary. S-U-P-E-R-I-O-R, superior ovary. Superior ovary means here ovary occupies the highest position. Just below to that, remaining floral parts like calyx, corolla and androecium are produced on the thalamus. Such type of flowers are called as hypogynous flowers. But in case of the perigynous type of flowers, thalamus is somewhat extended just like a plate-like structure. In the middle of this thalamus, ovary is usually produced. On the rim of the thalamus, remaining floral parts like calyx and corolla and androecium are produced. In the middle of the thalamus, gynoecium usually forms. On the margin of the thalamus, on the rim of the thalamus, remaining floral parts like calyx and corolla and androecium are produced on the margins. So here, ovary is said to be half inferior and half superior. That means half part of the ovary superior to the remaining flower parts and half part of the ovary inferior to the remaining flower parts. Here, half part of the ovary appears to be highest position compared with the remaining flower parts, and half part of the ovary said to be inferior to the remaining flower parts. Like that, half part of the ovary occupies the highest position and remaining half part of the ovary occupies the lowest position compared with the remaining flower parts. Like that, the ovary is said to be half superior and half inferior in case of the perigynous flowers. Half superior, S-U-P-E-R-I-O-R, and half inferior, I-N-F-E-R-I-O-R. In case of the hypogynous flowers, ovary occupies the highest position, so it is called as superior ovary. But in case of the perigynous flowers, half part of the ovary occupies the highest position, remaining part of the ovary produced just below to the remaining flower parts. So it is said to be as half inferior. So in case of the flowers like perigynous, ovary is said to be half superior and remaining half inferior ovary. But in case of the epigynous flower, it is different when compared with both these two. Here, ovary produce below to the all the remaining floral parts. In case of the epigynous flower, here thalamus forms a deep cup-like structure. Here, the margins of the this one is thalamus, thalamus, and this one is ovary, and this one is style, 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 and this one is stigma, stigma. Here, thalamus, the margins of the thalamus covers the ovary and remaining floral parts like calyx and corolla and androecium, androecium, androecium. Here, the margins of the thalamus fuses or covers the ovary, and remaining floral parts like calyx, corolla, and androecium are produced above to the level of the ovary. Here, ovary occupies the lowest position. Remaining floral parts like calyx and corolla and androecium, androecium, androecium. In case of the epigynous flower, the margin of the thalamus produces or grows like a cup-like structure, and it covers the ovary so that all the floral parts like calyx, corolla, and androecium are produced above to the ovary position. So here ovary is said to be inferior ovary. Here in case of the epigynous flower, ovary is inferior, inferior, inferior ovary. So in case of the epigynous flower, ovary is said to be inferior. In case of perigynous flower, half superior, half inferior ovary. But in case of the hypogynous flower, ovary is said to be superior ovary. Like that, there are three kinds of flowers on the basis of the arrangement of calyx, corolla, and androecium with respect of the ovary and thalamus. Here we just go through the details regarding them. And the east-western, another important aspect. East-western means the mode of arrangement of calyx or corolla or sepals and petals in bud condition of a flower called as east-western. The mode of arrangement of calyx or corolla in bud condition of a flower is called as east-western. So here, four types of east-wations are prescribed in our syllabus. They are valvate east-wation, twisted east-wation, imbricate east-wation, vexillary or papilionaceous east-wation. So valvate type of east-wation found in Calotropis plant, where twisted east-wation reported from the Chinese rose, and imbricate east-wation found in Cassia and Gulmohar or Cisalpination members, where in case of the Fabaceae member, the east-western is said to be vexillary and papilionaceous. So here in case of the valvate east-western, the margins of each sepal or petal fuses with the margins of the other. That means each margin of a sepal or petal combines or fuses or touches with the margin of the other sepal or the petal. So that kind of east-western called as valvate east-western found in Calotropis gigantea. Where in case of twisted east-western, each margin of a sepal or the petal covers the margin of the other sepal. So here, each margin of a sepal comes out and each margin of the same covered by another one. So like that, each margin of a sepal covers the other margin, where the margin of the same sepal covered by other sepal. Like that. Such type of east-western called as twisted east-western. But in case of imbricate east-western, for example, in case of Cassia and Gulmohar, there are 5 sepals of the petal. Here, one sepal, 2 margins are covered by other one, where the sepal or the petal, both the margins are not covered by any other member. where in case of the three sepals or the petals, each margin covered by some other one and one margin comes out. So once again I am explaining. In case of the imbricate aestivation, margins of a sepal or the petal of a single one may not be covered by other one, and the margins of a sepal or the petal, both margins are covered by another one, where in case of the three sepals or the petals, one margin covered and one margin may not be covered, like that, without following a particular direction or the fashion. Here covering of the margins usually found in case of the imbricate aestivation. But in case of papilionaceous or axillary aestivation, it is found in Fabaceous members like B and P. Here, total 5 sepals or petals are found. Usually, in case of 5 petals, one petal usually larger in size, called as standard petal, and it covers the margins of the two middle sized smaller petals. They are called as wings. And these two wings again covers the margins of the two smallest petals called as keel. Here total 5 petals are found. One is larger in size that covers the margins of the wings, and these two wings covers the margins of the keel. Like that kind of papilionaceous, that is called as papilionaceous aestivation or axillary aestivation found in pea and bean plants. Another one important aspect is types of placentations. Placentation types. Here placentation means arrangement of ovules within the ovary on the placenta called as placentation. So here, there are 5 types of placentations found in case of the angiospermic plants. They are marginal placentation, axial placentation, parietal placentation, free central placentation and basal placentation. So here marginal placentation found in the members like P. Here on the ventral side, a suture-like structure usually produced. On that, ovules are produced. So in case of the marginal placentation, on the ventral side, from the ventral side usually ovules are produced. That is called as marginal placentation. But in case of the axial placentation, within the carpel or within the ovary, a axile-like structure or just like a small pillar-like structure produced. On that axile, on that axis, usually ovules are produced. So here, in case of the ovary, a axile or a axis-like structure firstly formed. On that ovules are produced, called as axial placentation. In case of the parietal placentation, from the lower side of the wall of the carpel, ovules are produced. That is called as parietal placentation. On the lower side of the carpel, ovules are produced, is called as parietal placentation. But in case of the free central placentation, so ovary may not be separated by a septum, and it produces an axis-like structure, axile-like structure produced within the ovary. On that axis, ovules are produced. Such type of placentation called as free central placentation found in dianthus and also in primrose. But in case of the basal placentation, within the ovary, from the basal side, ovules are produced. On the bottom side or on the basal side, ovules are produced in case of the basal placentation. From the base of the ovary, if the ovules are produced, such type of placentation called as basal placentation. It is found in the members like sunflower and marigold. Thank you.